Did you hear about that article from CNN, which stated that not exercising and living a sedentary life is worse for your health than smoking, diabetes, and heart disease? Yes, so many people are struggling to stay consistent. I mean, life is busy enough on its own. Between working full-time jobs, taking care of kids, and trying to figure out how to keep a clean home, I can barely keep up. And now I'm expected to exercise too in order to prolong my life of suffering through this daily question?
Hey, so what's for dinner?
I'm just joking. I love you.
I love you too.
But being consistent with exercise has always been a challenge. I'm sure I'm not the only one who struggles with this. I mean, how many times have you started an exercise routine only to give up a few weeks later, if not a few days later? It can be so frustrating because we really want to fit back into those pre-baby jeans, but we can't seem to be disciplined enough to stick to anything. Our motivation levels aren't the same as they were in our early 20s, and not to mention that losing weight just keeps getting harder with age, which drops motivation levels down even lower, so my mom tells me. But we can't allow this lack of ambition to stop us from figuring out a way to push through it. Because we're only given one body, and if we can't take care of it, then how can we expect to take care of others? I may feel healthy at 29, but if I don't exercise for the next 30 years, how will I feel at 59? Will I be able to help my kids when they need me? What about my grandkids? Will I be strong enough to hold them? The most important thing we can do for ourselves and for those around us is to take care of our health. But that doesn't change the fact that being consistent is hard. And many of us just don't know how to stick with it. But lucky for you, I found the secret to exercising without quitting, and it took me 10 years of failure to figure it out. But before I reveal the secret, I need to share with you what I tried that didn't work. Because I tried so many different things. When I started my fitness journey for the first time in my life, it made sense to join a gym. I mean, that's what you do, right? You need to lose weight, you join a gym. And it felt like, this is it. This was what was going to help me lose the 15 pounds I had gained. I mean, nothing screams commitment more than a $50 monthly payment. I had to show up each day in order to get my money's worth. But you can probably guess what happened next. I went for about a month and then slowly watched my money waste away as I failed to discipline myself to drive over there each morning. It wasn't working, but maybe I just wasn't getting enough out of my gym membership. So I decided to dabble in the different classes they offered. I went to a cycling class, which was kind of fun. And then I tried out water aerobics, which was weird, but also kind of fun. And I continued to attend many of the classes that were offered, hoping that this would be the key to my success. But despite trying new things, my motivation dropped, and I found myself back at square one, still struggling to get out of the house and show up. Life just kind of got in the way and exercise wasn't a priority. Over the years, I repeated this cycle twice more, joining gyms and then ending my memberships a few weeks later. I finally realized that this wasn't going to be the solution to my problem. So I decided to experiment with home workout DVDs. This way, I wouldn't even have to leave the house. No excuses. I could do it in the morning before I showered. I ended up buying a stack of Jillian Michael DVDs and worked out right in my living room. But yet again, I didn't stay consistent. I would finish the first DVD, get halfway through the second, and slowly lose momentum. And then I'd try again 6 months later only to repeat the same vicious cycle. I was really good at starting a workout routine, but I was even better at quitting. I just couldn't seem to stick to anything. And I would go on to try many more things. Walking 10,000 steps, waking up earlier, going on daily runs, training for a 5K, buying a bike, rewarding myself, working out with friends, trying Zumba, following various diets, investing in home gym equipment. But every single thing I tried, I eventually failed at because I quit everything I started, and there was no one to keep me accountable for it. But wait, that's just the issue, isn't it? I need accountability. I need someone who will do this with me and check in regularly to make sure I don't give up. because I obviously can't do this on my own. I mean, I've tried again and again, and nothing has worked. Maybe finding someone to do this with me is just what I need. So I ventured out to find an accountability partner, someone who wouldn't let me fail, because failure isn't an option anymore. I need to do this for my health, my kids, my future grandkids. After searching for a little while, I finally found someone who was up for the challenge. We would check in every Sunday to make sure we weren't slacking off, and that was working really well. It made it more exciting to have someone there cheering me on, and it was nice to not be alone in it all. But after 2 weeks, I started to feel less motivated. And in came the excuses. Hey, Hannah, I was gonna go for a run, but then it started raining. Oh, rats. I ate way too many cheese fries. My stomach. Can't exercise on a full stomach, so catch you tomorrow. Hey, bad news. The dog. Oh, I don't have a dog. The baby ate my DVD. Gotta go, bye. Both my friend and I kept making excuse after excuse. We found every little thing that could justify as to why we couldn't work out. And as friends, we gave each other a lot of grace because that's often what friends do. They're understanding and supportive. They offer compassion and love. And eventually, our pattern of finding excuses continued until we reached the point that exercise became non existent in our routine. So even having accountability didn't work for me. And after failing multiple times, it became increasingly challenging to find the motivation to begin again. I mean, I knew how it was going to end. I wanted to believe that there was some future version of me that would emerge, one that I could admire, one that would be more disciplined and committed to actually sticking to goals. But as time went on and failures persisted, I gave up hope. I gave up hope that I could ever change. I am who I am. Unreliable, undisciplined, lazy, and incapable of following through. But I couldn't just give up, could I? I mean, to give up on my health was to give up on myself. And God only gave me one body. And I really wanted to live in it for a long time. I want to give my kids the gift of having their mom when they're in their 40s or maybe even 50s. I want to be present for every moment. So I had to find a way, even if that meant I had to sacrifice something to do so. I ended up texting my brother, who is much better about working out regularly than I am. I told him, I need help. I can't figure out how to be consistent with exercise. Every time I start something, I give up in a month. I want to lose the baby weight and feel strong, but if I don't figure something out, then I'm never going to be consistent. So I asked him how he was able to be consistent himself, and what he told me would change everything. He said that he had accountability partners and that it helped him a lot. But I told him that didn't work for me. I tried it, and I even set up systems where we could be rewarded for our success, but even that wasn't enough to keep us motivated. He said, no, Ariel, you're doing it all wrong. Rewards alone won't keep you disciplined. It's consequences that truly drive progress and commitment. Excuse me, I said, consequences? I didn't like the sound of that. He then told me that he has a system with his friends where they are to work out 5 days a week, and if they miss a day, they each have to contribute $10 to the pool. But if they miss too many days, then they would be disqualified. And at the end of the year, those who were remaining would spend the pool money on a fun event together. I was a little hesitant. $10 seemed like a lot of money to pay for missing one day. And the fact that you could be disqualified might just cause me to give up entirely. I didn't love the idea. But I thought maybe I could alter it to work for me. $10 for missing a day was too much, but perhaps I could reduce it to $2. And maybe I could remove the disqualification option altogether, because that doesn't seem like it would motivate me enough to continue. But who would even want to do this with me? Is anyone else insane enough to make a deal like this? Exercise or pay up? Seems kind of crazy. But nothing else is working. And I gotta do something, right? I can't just keep repeating this cycle of quitting. So I sent messages to 2 different friends of mine to see who would be up for it. The first friend said, no, you freak. But that's okay because my other friend was like, heck yeah, let's do it. So we made a deal that we would exercise 5 days a week with 2 days off. And if we missed one of our 5 days, we had to pay $2 to the pool. We also allowed each other 5 sick days a month because when you're a mom, someone's always sick. We even created a spreadsheet and everything. We were determined to make this work. And as crazy of an idea that this was the secret to success for me. The fear of losing money forced me to rely on discipline instead of motivation. Even on mornings when every fiber of my being screamed, stay on the couch, I had no choice but to push through because I knew I didn't have a good enough excuse to throw away money. I just had to do it. And that was 4 months ago. I'm proud to say that my friend and I have not missed a single day since. For the first time in my life, I am finally consistently exercising, all because of the system that we set up. I feel stronger than ever. I'm even able to lift 10-pound weights when I only started with 2. Jordan no longer asks me what's for dinner anymore. I just feel healthier overall, and even my skin looks better. After sticking to an exercise routine for 4 months straight, I feel incredible. You wouldn't believe the difference consistency makes. You might think that just 20 minutes a day wouldn't have much impact, but let me tell you, if you're working out for 20 minutes a day, then by the end of the week, you've exercised for a total of 2 hours. Now, I understand that this approach might feel intense for some of you. That's okay. We're all different, and what works for one may not work for another. I'm no doctor, okay? I'm just someone sharing my own experience. Maybe accountability alone without consequences is enough for you. Or perhaps you're motivated by rewards. The beauty of a fitness journey is that it's unique to each person. Find what works for you and embrace it. But otherwise, if you think this is just what you need, then send this video to someone who you'd love to be accountability partners with and see if they'd be up for it. Initially, I was scared to ask my friends to join me. I felt like I was asking for too much, like who in the world would say yes to this? But to my surprise, my friend was really excited about it because she too had been struggling for years to get on track and needed someone like me to give her that extra push to finally make a change, just like I needed her. So don't be scared, just ask because your friends may just surprise you. And remember that your health is worth it. Take care of yourself first so that you can continue to take care of others for a long time. And it doesn't need to be a rigorous workout. You could simply commit to walking 10,000 steps a day. And hey, I've also made a video on that, which you can check out right here. I walk 10,000 steps every day for 30 days, and 4 things changed during that time. I'll see you there.